What's going on to you, Geminis? You have the Ten of Pentacles, the Scorpio energy, and then you, Geminis, have the Eight of Pentacles. So a lot of real intense energy right here. So for you, Geminis, there's a sense of you, Geminis, basically uh, um, interesting. Uh, a lot of you Geminis feel like no more free lunches. Um, you Geminis have been giving to a lot of people that didn't really take you, uh, that didn't really see your value as a human being. You know, the fact that you Geminis wanted to do something like that in the first place is the reason why it is that you will do something like that, right? It speaks to who you Geminis are. And um, a lot of you Geminis, basically, a lot of you Geminis are just like, you're just done with being taken advantage of. You're done with people, not actually listening to what you have to say about what you want. And then they just give you whatever it is that they think that you'll accept. And because the Scorpio energy here, right, represents transformation. And then the Ten of Pentacles would be like you giving so much in said relationships. But then the Eight of Pentacles represents you wanting to be by yourself. So it's like, what happened? What had you Geminis go from relationship, right, to now being in a situation where you want to be by yourselves? And what changed is how many people just kept thinking that it was okay to use you, right? So a lot of you Geminis, you have the Nine of Wands and the Six of Wands. You want things to be more fair, you know. You want things to be more fair in relationships. Like if you you know it you know if you bring so much to the relationship, a person needs to also care about you, right? Like, because what I'm seeing is that there's just a lot of like you Geminis doing so much, and they're looking at you like a doer and not a human being, right? They don't see you as a person with feelings and their own thoughts and their own autonomy. They look at you like a person that lives to serve them, or they do take you Geminis for granted, where it's like they're not really paying attention to how you Geminis are actually moving. They're more so looking at you Geminis like, okay, well, what can I get out of you Geminis, type of thing. And so because of this, um, a lot of you Geminis see it, and a lot of you Geminis obviously don't like it. That's the reason why the Nine of Wands and the Six of Wands is here, because you want something that makes more sense, right? And you Geminis are not being quiet about it. You're speaking up. You're gonna let it be known where it is that you stand. You're not looking to come in and spend all your money and do the emotional work, right? You spend all your money, you let the other person know that you care about them, or and then they just be like, oh, okay, and they're stiff. What I mean when I say they're stiff, I mean like they don't want to let you know that they care about you as well. Them type of relationships where one person is saying I love you, the other person is like, nah, you better go ahead. You better go ahead with all of that. You better, otherwise I'm out. All of this all of this, I don't really mean for it to be one-sided, but then it actually is one-sided at the end of the day. Yeah, you Geminis ain't going for that. You Geminis ain't going for that. And so because of that, right, because of that reason, the Page of Wands and the Three of Swords just speaks to how, since that's the case, um, uh, again, you know, you Geminis are applying pressure because it forces people to have to actually be mindful. See, a lot of the times, a lot of people are not mindful, right? You know, one side does a lot of the work and the other side receives the good work that the other side is doing, but, you know, doesn't really take things into consideration. And this is one of the things that I basically talk about here on this channel is and I hope I don't end up making myself look stupid in the future, but just being mindful, you know what I mean? Just being mindful. A lot of people lack mindfulness. You know, they'll have you Geminis say that you love them. They won't say that they love you back. And it's like, they ain't gotta say that they love you all the time, but at the minimum, you know what I'm saying? At least say it back. At least, you know, let you Geminis know that you're valued and that they actually care for you. And don't let you just go off and do your own thing, just doing what it is that you gotta do, whatever you wanna do on your own, right? And so the situation with that is the situation with that is the Six of Pentacles. Again, you want fair treatment. You know, Six of Wands, Six of Pentacles. You want fair treatment. You wanna feel like you're important in a relationship. And that's sad that you have to say that you want to feel important in your own, or be important in your own relationship, when you're supposed to automatically be important. But right, that's just how it is sometimes. And see, the situation is that the Tower and the Four of Wands, a lot of Scorpio energy, like I said, there's a huge transformation because, you know, you Geminis are saying it, you're speaking it out loud. This is what you want. You do want a relationship, right? But first and foremost, we need to stop there because a lot of you Geminis sometimes can make it seem like y'all don't want a relationship. But the mere fact that you Geminis actually do put it out there that you do want a relationship is big news, right? Especially for the Geminis that have gotten over trying to act like they tough and actually just say what it is that they're looking for. So now that you Geminis, okay, you want a relationship, and you know what I'm saying? Because like when a Gemini is younger, that Gemini will have to grit their teeth and say that, because it could be painful for a Gemini to say that, because too many fishes in the sea for them to be hounding me, right? That's the mentality that a lot of you have. But then at the same time, you know, when you Geminis do a little bit more spiritual development, now you Geminis have a better understanding of it. And so because you Geminis have a better understanding of said thing, right? You want a relationship, but you want a relationship that is fair. You want something where like you're an actual priority and not just a person that just does stuff for another person, right? And so admitting that to yourself, right? You know, admitting that to yourself, you can now actually go and speak up about what it is that you're looking for. See, a lot of the times people, you know, see, let me say it. Because see, I'm not just saying this stuff, right, just to give y'all a pep talk, right? And this is the first time I'm saying this, right? Because I'm gonna get down into that layer of it, right? I'm actually saying this to you so that you can actually go and take this information, and then when you find someone and you get yourself into a nice setting with that person, you tell them that. You tell them that this is what you tell them. You tell them that you want a relationship where you actually matter. It's not the person It's just looking at you, Geminis, like a human doing, and you're doing everything, but they don't actually care about you. They're not chipping in. They're not doing anything. They're not doing anything financially, emotionally, none of that. They're just looking at you do the work, and they're staying quiet because they don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth. They don't want to say anything which will cause questions to pop up, and they just kick their feet up and sit back and let you Geminis do everything. And so because now that the Tower and the Four of Wands, you Geminis actually, now that I let you know that you have to say that, now it, like I said before, it applies pressure to other people because they got to give you that. They got to give it to you. If not for a short period of time, then the real thing. Because some people will act like they will give you what you want up front, and then they'll go back on their word. But regardless of the who or the what, even if they do that, you will see their betrayal coming from a mile away, and you can just get out. That's the good thing about it. Right? Even though they planning on betraying you, the good thing about it is you can see it because they was giving you what you want, which wasn't outlandish to ask. They were giving you the respect without pedestalizing you. And then now you can actually see the respect dwindle because now all of a sudden they just can't give you respect anymore out of nowhere. You see what I'm saying? But then at the same time, here's what's so messed up about it. Well, I should say the good thing about it, to kind of get off that. The good thing about it is, and let's just say they are sincere with theirs and they want to give you the love and the attention, then things will essentially work out. See, you should be telling these things to the person whom you're trying to get to know. You should voice that, because people will sit back and they will coast and just sit back and let their significant other do everything. Now, I'm not saying that every single person will do that, but at the same time, these types of connections, no matter which ones they are, there has to be conversations, 100%. This is why I don't do this non-verbal cues, BS, nonsensical mental illness warp type goofy stuff, because these types of conversations will have to be talked about. So let's clarify the Four of Wands. Nine of Wands, Three of Wands, Six of Wands, the Emperor, and then the Two of Wands. So all of these have wand cards in them, including the Emperor, right? Wand. So the Nine of Wands and the Nine of Wands and the Three of Wands speaks to overall you Geminis, again, applying pressure. See, one of the most powerful things that you can do, anyone can do in a relationship, especially if it's early on, is say to the person what it is that you're looking for, and then see if they actually do that. If they don't, obviously leave them. But you Geminis need to let it be known. And the Nine of Wands is that if they just immediately start wilding out, stay away from them. If they have an objection, stay away from them. Especially in the modern day time, people get their goofy behinds up on the internet and they ask for outlandish goofy stuff. We're not talking about outlandish goofy stuff. We're talking about things that people should automatically be doing, but it has to be said because the state of relationships has unfortunately settled down to such a low level, to the point where you have to tell people that they have to care about you. That's how downstairs it is. So if a person has an objection or they find something wrong with that, obviously that's a person who you really shouldn't be taking seriously, right? And so because of that, now the Three of Wands and the Six of Wands, the Three of Wands and the Six of Wands is go and speak and get to know other people. right? You know, don't take them serious. If they have a problem with something like that and they think of it like that's just preposterous or just outland, that's just too much, it's obvious why you shouldn't take them seriously, because their mentality is any kind of any fair treatment is too much to bear and ask for, which is a problem, because what kind of a person thinks that any kind of fair treatment is too much to ask for? But so the thing is that the Emperor and the Two of Wands now is about how you Geminis, you just have to, like I said, keep looking until you find the correct person if you're gonna be out here dating. But that's it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Sometimes you will have to check back to my YouTube channel and subscribe manually, because sometimes YouTube's, I don't know why it does this, but YouTube unsubscribes people automatically sometimes. I don't know why. But also too, please come through and get a personal reading from me. The link to that is in the comment section below. It's called the Linktree link. Or you can contact me at Kareemspiritworks@yahoo.com.